This is a Valiant Star podcast. Enjoy.
What is good, beautiful nerds, and welcome back to a sort of just Minnesota episode for the Nerds Be Like podcast. It's just gonna be me and Eric. Say hello, Eric.
Hi.
What's up? What's up? Okay, so we as you can see from the intro or the thumbnail and the title, we're gonna be sort of doing a mini review of Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman 1984. No one else saw it
or wants to watch it.
It's not to say there's not some good things in it, but Eric watches it. Well, watched it because he watches a lot of different things.
I like everything,
and I really wanted. I was really like hyped for this, like when it was announced and everything, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to put this in this like cool art in a thumbnail, see how it looks. But now it's like, oh, okay. But I think we can start with just a brief like synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do it, Eric?
Sure, why not? Let's go.
All right, let's go.
So Wonder Woman is back. It's still a prequel to the first Wonder
80s.
Woman. Yeah, so technically it's before Batman vs Superman and all that. 60 years later, 1984, right? Or no, it's longer than that.
World War One.
So
Is
almost
that what you mean?
70. Yeah, right. Close to it.
I think so.
Okay, so
I have the math in my head.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal plays the villain in this one, or I would say like antagonist. Maxwell Lord, who is seeking a rock that grants all wishes.
A MacGuffin, if you will.
Yeah, sadly. The rock, the literal rock, disappears throughout like the whole movie. I think we see it like a total of what, like 3 or 4 times?
Say 4, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and then it's gone. So Kristen Wiig is in here as Barbara Minerva, aka Cheetah, our secondary villain, which I feel like she was more of the villain than Maxwell Lord was, honestly.
Yeah.
And like, if you really think about the big picture wise,
because it's like it makes sense because Maxwell Lord doesn't have powers.
Yeah.
Well, not like strength wise.
Yeah, I mean, he absorbs rock. Okay, that's all you need to know.
He absorbs rock.
He becomes
people.
The Rock. Exactly. You know what I mean?
You sound like he's a caveman or something. He absorbs rock.
He absorbs the rock.
Yeah, and lo and behold, Steve Trevor is back. Sadly. How does that happen? We'll kind of get into why that's kind of weird.
Very. Not even kind of. Just
no,
very. For no reason.
All right, so you spoke a little bit about the villain, so I guess do you want to start with that before we go into the favorite moment?
Sure. We can start on how it got paced.
So before I hit record, you were like, "Oh yeah, Cheetah is better, or has a better arc than Maxwell Lord." While I do agree with that, it's still not great.
Yeah. It's not enough. Yeah, I understand it completely. Just because like the way they go about her arc compared to Maxwell Lord's is just Maxwell Lord's doing what he does for what, power and money.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing it just to like be seen, like she wants to be known. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of video essays and things like that.
Yeah.
And there was one point that I agree with is like it's weird that she said, I want to be an apex predator. Basically saying, I want to transform myself into the villain.
Yeah.
What instead the wording maybe would have been like, I also want power. And that power manifested into maybe some kind of research that she did. And that's what came out was Cheetah.
Yeah.
But because she just wanted to be a villain, that's just kind of weird. It's
The way they went about a couple of things was weird with the villains, like in deciding and what was going on with them, like
mhm.
arc wise. Because she said she wanted to be like Diana, so I mean, she got everything, like her powers and everything. Like that was it right there. That's all you needed, realistically.
Yeah, she didn't need to grant or be granted the wish of becoming what's it called, part of
It,
cats.
yeah, it was just weird. Like I didn't understand it. And then he granted her second wish, which was that I didn't
How does
understand that
the wish
either.
work?
I don't know. I guess depending on what he takes from you, he can give you more. Like,
No, because even with that logic, it doesn't make sense because he said, "Did like to like a cab driver or something?" He's like, "Did I grant your wish?" He's like, "Yes." It's like, "Oh crap!" And he just goes off finding someone else because you
yes.
only have
Mm.
one. So I'm trying to figure it out because like she was it more like she wished on the Rock and then later wished on Maxwell Lord, and that's two different entities. Because
No,
because either way, it
physically.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a plot hole. That
Did she renounce her first wish to become like Diana and then traded that wish to be?
I
Because
don't
I know
think so.
I saw this yesterday. I'm trying to
'Cause they're
remember
on
the
the
plane
plane.
sequence. Yeah,
Yeah, they were on the plane, and he was like, I can
I
grant as many as I want, but he couldn't do the dudes, which made no sense for me.
yeah, I think she just granted he was granted a second wish, which doesn't make sense. Um, well, now with Maxwell Lord, I thought he was just gonna be like this kind of like the CEO kind of
I mean, he
bad
was,
guy
but he was
who
borrowing money.
yeah, it's more like he was a scam. He didn't really have anything to begin with.
Yeah.
But like I just thought he was that kind of character and not like he just became the plot device or the wish granting rock.
I felt like he was not really a threat.
No.
He
I
didn't
mean in a
feel.
way yes, but the rules of the granting the wish and everything were weird to begin with, which maybe that's why I didn't feel like he was a threat.
Like at all. I mean, I think if he was more of like you said like a business, like more threatening, like his company wasn't in the hole,
Mhm.
he probably would have been more powerful. Like he wasn't. I want to say like he wasn't an asshole. You know what I mean? Like they should have portrayed him
Well, by
like
the end
more
of it, he
arrogant.
literally said, "I'm an assoul" to his kid.
Yeah. But
So
no, I
to
meant
his,
like
to
more arrogant, like
oh yeah,
towards
more
he
yeah,
treats people. Like he's using them, but he still treats people like people.
yeah. I forgot what the video essay said about him, but like this version of him definitely it feels kind of too goofy to cartoon villain esque from like a Saturday morning um cartoon. Like it doesn't feel real. I don't know what other way they could have done it. Maybe just get rid of the wishing rock completely. Because I feel like
Well,
how does Cheetah get her powers in the
the
in the in
comics.
the in the comics?
I don't.
Do
I
you
think
know?
she goes on like a expedition or something. Like she's a. I don't know what she is. Hold on, I'll look it up. Actually, now
Because I
that we're
mean,
sitting here
they
talking,
could just do that. Um, stem from her connection to the plant god. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it.
what is it?
Um, Urzkartaga.
Urskardagata? Urskardagata? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very hard to pronounce.
But I feel like if the comics kind of made it work, I feel like in a universe like this, they could have made that work and not needed the
Well, yeah,
stone.
especially with everything that's going on, especially because Diana's gods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird
I
enough
like,
that you can kind of go a different route like that. But
yeah.
because The Rock was in the middle of every time I say The Rock, I literally think of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But like
Jeez.
every time there's The Rock is there, it's like just in the middle of the whole story
Yeah.
because it literally connects to every person, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
So no, in a real way, The Rock was the villain.
Honestly, The Rock was a better villain. Probably, like in the long run. Because I don't know. Do you remember the god that was mentioned that created it? It was like a trickster god or something, or what was it?
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't Ares, but I also for a second I was like, wait, is Maxwell Lord gonna turn into that god, much like the first Wonder Woman movie? And I'm like, I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, just be a cop out.
Uh, yeah. Do you want to talk about your favorite moment?
Sure, let's move. Let's
All
move
right,
to the
all
next
right.
one. What was my favorite moment?
You just had it.
I had it right. Wow, I lost it like
Do you want me
that.
to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I don't. This will connect later to with the music, but like my favorite moment in the movie was just the by like the ending when Diana's kind of you you think she's convincing Maxwell Lord to renounce his wish to be the Rock, but instead she's kind of telling everyone else through him to do
Mhm.
that, like everyone else in the world. So in my favorite moment was that, but it not necessarily her speech because it kind of it falls flat a little bit. It's more of the music that is in there because the music in there. I don't. You didn't notice it, right, Eric?
No, I did not.
So the only reason I noticed is because I really like the Batman vs Superman like soundtrack,
I
and I
like the
listened
Man
to
of
it a lot.
Steel one. I gotta go listen to
That
it.
one's really good too. But
Yeah.
like Hans Zimmer in general, he composed that one. He did Man of Steel. He did this one as well. So when he brought that soundtrack called or that track from BVS, which in that movie is called Beautiful Lie, he just kind of alters it a little bit, and in this one, it's kind of for a beautiful truth in Diana's words. Um, so I thought that was really interesting because I'm like, what are the implications of that? Does that because at this point, Bruce Wayne already lost his parents. So does that mean that Bruce Wayne wished his parents? Um, I mean, this is theoretical. I'm not saying this happened, but I'm like, does that kind of mean that he saw the TV screen and wished his parents back for a moment, or is that just like a nod to the Batman character?
I think it's
Kind of.
it's more of a nod, but that would question more plot holes. Like he saw her or heard her voice, but he never recognized her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well,
this
you'd have to think about it because like he would
he's
have a
10.
TV.
He's
Now he's
10.
14.
Or was he? Okay.
Yeah, because it's like a couple years after the death of. Because I looked this up too when I found the song. So his parents died in 1980, and this took place in 1987. So yeah, he would have been 14. Yeah.
Okay.
So like he would have a TV in his house. I don't know if by this point he already went to do training or not.
I mean, he's 14.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that all that technically starts when he's like 18 when he
Oh, okay.
goes out. You know what I mean? Like actually goes out and gets
To see the
over it a
world.
little bit. Yeah, and
Yeah.
justice and stuff like that. And he's like, okay.
So yeah, that was my favorite one because it was just I was not that I was half paying attention. I was watching the movie, but like in the middle of everything, I was like, wait a minute, is that the track? And I went back like 3 times to listen to that sequence again, and I was like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, I really like this moment just
Mm,
because it connects or it weaves together like a music musically weaves the two movies together really nicely, I guess. Because on one, the first in by the end of BVS, it's kind of like man's greed, or Batman's greed to defeat Superman, and this one is kind of the reverse of that, slightly.
yeah.
Um, but yeah. So, what is your favorite moment?
So I don't know if it was like towards the end over there or when he was gaining his power when the Maxwell Lord goes back and remembers like his life when he was a child
It
and
was
like
that
how his
moment. It was
father was.
exactly that moment too.
Okay, well, yeah, that's just the flashback. Like you can tell how hard his life was when he was younger,
Yeah.
or when he got that office and he finally like started getting money and stuff like that. It like showed his whole life story. And you can just literally fill in the blanks of why he's trying to be like this, and then his son, and like I like that so much.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Now
though
that you say that, maybe that's the connection with the Batman v Superman song, because in one hand it's a beautiful life um for Bruce Wayne when his parents died, but also like for Maxwell Lord when his parents are like in the like this kind of shaky relationship, and he's
Yeah.
not having the best of time as a kid.
I mean, that was
Something like
everyone
that,
like
yeah.
age.
He's probably
But
like
like that
40
was
and
50s, 60s, like in Mexico, right? It was either Mexico or it was they never specified.
no,
They just specified he was not from
it was like Maxwell Lawrence or something.
the United States.
Is
I
his
don't
real name?
know, but he couldn't speak English. English is his second language.
Yeah, so let me just look that up. I think it was it, but I don't know. It's weird that our favorite moments are towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was the end of the movie.
Yeah.
No,
That's not why.
it was not that bad. Like the
No.
movie's not that bad. It's real entertaining. Don't get me wrong. We're just picking at like
Yeah, I feel like before we get into action sequences, I want to say that the movie itself looked really good. Like it had a really nice color palette.
it was brighter than
Yeah,
Wonder Woman was.
but well, Wonder Woman, the first one was, I understandably it's dark because it takes place during World War One, and the only like brightness in the movie is when it's in Themyscira, and in this
True.
one, it's bright in Themyscira, and also because it's the '80s and it has a really nice kind of
Yeah,
color to it.
I hope
It's
the
not like
Flash this.
it's not
bright.
like, oh look, all like '80s colors. Look at this. It's just like very subtly like different color palette.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on to the action sequences. Which one did you like the most? There was 3, no 4. So there was the one where she stops the bank robbery or the jewelry robbery. There's
Mhm.
one with the on the road, I think in Egypt.
Mhm.
There's one with the eagle.
Mhm. And then the last one.
Oh no, the White House one. That's 4. Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't count the Maxwell Lord the fight sequence.
No. I liked it when she fought Cheetah, even though you couldn't see Cheetah.
That's what I said at the beginning though, because like it's dark, but so they would hide the
Bad.
CGI, but it's still kind of terrible.
It's crazy though, because like, why is it so? Is it because you were not practical? Because that's not none of that was practical. There's no way.
Her face is practical, I think. When the
No, I'm
close
talking
ups.
about the fighting.
Oh no. How
Like,
would you do that?
I don't know, but I feel like they would just have to put stuff around, and then it would be all green screened. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but she just it was cool when she came down in the armor,
Mm-hmm.
and then her armor started getting messed up.
Oh, when she clawed away at the yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't expect for her to be that strong. I guess. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah, because it was Amazonians made the armor from, like, they melted armor of theirs and shit like that to make that
Yeah.
armor. Oh yeah, you'd think it'd be more powerful, but I feel
Yeah,
like maybe Cheetah was just really strong.
I mean, she was Diana and the apex predator, apparently.
Yeah.
But that fight scene, there was just a lot going on, and then I thought she killed her at one point. I was like, "Yo, like
Yeah,
y'all were getting on
that was-
Superman and Batman, and then this girl just electrocuted somebody." But like, that's
It was
not
really
what happened.
No, it was really funny because I thought the same thing. Because in the mall sequence, there's like a little girl that looks up to Wonder Woman, and immediately by the end of it, when the only reason why Diana didn't like also get electrocuted is because I think because she's part god, and she like
Yeah.
the same reason why she can
Swing from
whip.
lightning.
Yeah. So it was just really weird. Like, are you just choking her out in the water? That's what it
Bro,
looked like.
she definitely killed her. Like, I don't care what nobody says. She's not alive at that point. Like, that doesn't just happen, you know?
Yeah. I think my favorite action sequence is probably the one with the most tension is probably the car chase
Mhm.
in Egypt. Because at that point you realize the actual toll the on or the price Diana's paying for having Steve around.
Yeah. She's dying, y'all.
She has less She still has her strength, just less vulnerability at the moment.
Oh, I feel like it was just taking everything
Oh.
at that point.
Well, yeah, but like you still had she still was able to fight and shit. So I thought that was like she was still able to do things normal people wouldn't be able to do. That's why I thought maybe it's just kind of going down like momentarily.
Yeah.
What about you? Action
What I
sequence.
think about it? Oh, I did my action sequence. What do you mean?
Oh, what was it?
They were
The
fighting.
eagle?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they were fighting. It's just like so much could have happened in that moment, but like
Mhm.
it was a good fight. Don't get me wrong, it was a good fight from what we could see. But
If you
'cause
close your eyes.
yeah, you close your eyes and like squint a little
Squint,
bit,
yeah.
they look exactly the same because Wonder Woman's like shining with armor, and then it's dark as hell on the other side.
Mhm.
It just they had a good fight. Don't get me wrong. You just couldn't see much of it.
Okay. So, where do you think it falls flat?
Bro, Steve Trevor.
Okay, yeah.
100%.
You know what? I'm
Trevor.
glad we're on the same page because I was gonna say that too.
That made no sense as to like how he got back. I understand
no,
why.
Here's the weird part. Like, you know how when Maxwell Lord goes to Egypt and he's talking to one of the leaders, he's like, what do you want, blah blah blah, and he has a wall built out of thin air. Why did Steve Trevor need a surrogate body? Why couldn't he just appear out of nowhere?
I don't know how it exists on that. Like in that timeline, like maybe they can't take up like space, you know what I mean? Maybe there's a fair share amount of people that are supposed to be there and or are created, even though Diana's created from clay, which makes no sense. And like
Yeah.
it's a bunch of whole. I just don't think they thought about it that much. Because like, why is he taking up space of someone else? This makes me think about Soul. I don't know why.
Yeah.
The Soul has set everything for me.
Well, no, here's the even like the I don't know if you thought about this that hard, but like she sees what's his face, Steve Trevor, but it's actually a different dude. So, and it's weird because they just kind of use him for like, well, they flat out there's not like a sex scene, but it's implied that they had sex overnight.
I did.
And that is weird.
Because it wasn't Steve.
It's not
technically
Steve. It's the
wasn't
other dude.
Steve. That's just what she saw.
Yes.
Even though she didn't. She said, I see you, but she didn't see him. She saw the dude. Like,
I think that's where that falls flat because what other way could they bring back Steve Trevor?
Or he could have just came back looking like he did in 1920 or whatever, 17. I don't know what it was.
I mean, you can go the real goofy way and have it be like, oh, look, it's Steve Trevor's grandchild.
No, we don't want. Because then he would have had a kid with somebody, that like, who was that?
Well, no, maybe it could be like he had a sister or something.
True.
Yeah.
But that picks up someone else's. I mean, that's a lot of story to explain.
Or, I don't know, relative, not a grandchild, something like that. I don't know. But like, because I remember there was a rumor that like, or something like that, where Steve Trevor would like, relative in the future, in the modern day, would be Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, but like, that doesn't make sense like there.
I mean, they could have just copped out and
not did it. Oh,
not did it, or like brought him back, or you know what I mean? Just period, and been like, oh, okay, let's keep him.
I think the weirder part is the surrogate body. I think had they brought him back just as out of thin air, would have explained it a little better.
That would have been fine with me, too.
But because it is a different dude, that's kind of the weirder part of the explanation.
And they used him all throughout.
And it's just so weird. Like, I think seeing it for the first time, well, I've only seen it the one time, but like seeing that part was like, I didn't think about it until after he just disappeared and she said goodbye.
Yeah.
I kind of was like, okay, so where is he now? And then by the end, like the end sequence in the snow, you see him again. I'm like, yeah, but
What are the chances?
They
Well,
other than that, other than that, I'm like, I see what you're trying to say because it's like, oh look, it's the guy who was kind of Steve, but it's him, and it reminds you of him, and it's like you're letting him go with the fucking balloon and everything. But it is weird that you see him again, and that's when I saw him there again. I'm like, okay,
Who's stalking her? It's Steve.
no, I was gonna I was gonna say rewind it back. So what does that mean for the whole movie? I'm like, because I didn't really think about it necessarily like too hard, but like it's just really weird. Another weird part is Steve Trevor learns to fly a modern plane.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff quick. I don't like. You got to think about the time he's from. Like, come on now.
Like I think if it was manifested through like just, hey, you appear now, I think again that would have also explained that, you know. But
Bro.
part of it is, before we even watched it, there was a script leak
And
before its release.
we all read it, except for Dan.
You read it. I didn't read it.
It's on
Um,
Reddit.
I'm not gonna link it anywhere because that's probably not
No,
allowed.
not at all.
So I remember you saying it's a pointless movie, and I'm like, what does that mean? And you're referring to it being kind of reversed to the status quo of the first one.
So what it in the script, I believe when I read it, it said that all this happened, and then they didn't do the renouncing. They just Diana or someone wished that would. I think it was Maxwell Lord wished that would go back to normal, and it just wiped out everything to where before they
So
had
it
to
was
watch.
changed.
Yeah, either that or I read it wrong, but
I mean, or it
doubt
could
I
have been
read-
an older version of the script.
yeah, it could have been like one of the like second or third copies because they got like 5, I think. But that's the way they said it. But everything in it besides that was correct. Like the
Mhm.
way they brought back Steve, all that, which makes me think like this was like 2019, 2020, which that script was out there for a long time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because the writing process takes a while for them to shoot. They probably shot in 2019.
It was supposed to come out last year, so they shot. Yeah, I want to say like 2019,
Yeah, maybe the beginning or something.
18, some 18 maybe.
Yeah, and
But-
I was thinking about it. Like the only thing you kind of come out of from this movie is that she can fly.
She can't even fly. She falls with style. This is basic Toy Story rules right now. Like
Well, she high jumps and she floats.
that's
not like-
falling with style.
Yeah,
Dan.
it's not like Superman flight, I guess. But
Which it don't make sense though, because why couldn't she do this in Batman vs Superman or Justice League?
that's another plot hole, you know.
The prequel thing is like you can't do this no more.
I know there's probably like what, 30-ish years, 25-ish years.
Between
Yeah, between this and Batman v Superman, something like that.
30, I think.
Is it 30?
80, so 90, 2000, 2010. Yeah, like 30, because 2010 is when
okay.
all this started.
Oh, in 2015, 16 was Batman v Superman?
Yeah, so
Okay.
exactly like 31.
Okay, I'm bad at math.
Okay.
So yeah, 32. Okay. But like, there's that 30-year span. I don't think it's a good idea to go back and do a prequel set in between that setting.
I mean, this was bad. In between this and Wonder Woman, the first one, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what was the point of that? To bring Steve back?
Like if it were like it's a different story. Like say let's go to the just real quick go to like Marvel, to Captain America, because he was in ice for 80 years, 70 years. There's that room where you can still tell stories, but it's not with Captain America. It's probably maybe with a different version of Captain America, or just different stories within the universe, but like it's more contained. It doesn't have that central character. But with Diana and everything,
I mean, I just I don't know.
I think for the first Wonder Woman movie, it was a good idea to have a prequel setting because it was interesting to see that era be explored. But now that we have two prequels to the modern time that we have yet to see Diana in outside of Justice League or Batman v Superman,
which doesn't exist at this point.
Weird.
They don't
That's
exist
true.
in continuity, so like
It's just weird. I know Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot are doing 3 and 4. I hope that it's a modern day story. It's not a prequel. Like I understand that she doesn't age and anything like that, so it really doesn't matter where you put her.
put her in the
But
future.
it just I was gonna say put her in the future, but it just feels like you should put her in like a more modern setting. See how life is with a Wonder Woman character, especially this version of Wonder Woman.
I mean, you can
It
have
was
her
more
trans-
bright.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At this point, I mean, what else is there to do? There's a lot to do with her, but
yeah.
are they going to do it? Is the real question. I don't know. Her character, I feel like it's so contained right now. Like they're not taking any real chances with her right now.
Yeah.
And every time I talk about this rock, I always think the Rock of Eternia, but I'm like, that's Shazam. Like it's a whole different one.
All right, we can actually. Do you want to talk about what's her face? Who made a cameo?
Linda
Original
Carter.
Wonder. Yeah, Linda Carter. Where was this cameo? Because I didn't see it.
It was
it
at the end, and yeah, she played the lady that originally had the golden eagle armor.
Yes. See, here's the
And-
thing. When you saw the close up of her eyes, I'm like, that's Linda Carter. I didn't know she was gonna be in the movie other than that. But like,
Nah, I didn't at all either.
I just kind of saw her eyes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's her blue eyes, and that I think that is an interesting sort of idea for a sequel where that character is evil, right? Or like maybe she's a mentor figure to Diana because she looked up to her, and then there's a twist. She's evil. I think that's a kind of a interesting dynamic because I feel like it'd be kind of interesting for Linda Carter to suit up again, this time in a kind of different way.
Yeah, but I feel like that's not a cop out, but it's just the way they storied her in this movie to where she helped us, she made sure we all got away, she held back men, and you know what I mean.
In what way?
And no, they can't story that character like that.
Oh yeah. Well, you could maybe like she saw what the world really was or something through the time that she's been there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe her experience was different than Diana's experience. You could just kind of make them polar opposites in that kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where that goes because she can like sit there and raise women and try to make an army.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're gonna do that. You know how much you'd have to pay that lady. Honestly.
Well, I mean, it was nice to see her in
Yeah.
this, even though I
mean,
didn't see her.
I watched her in Supergirl. She was in Supergirl like the first couple seasons.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Let's briefly go on to music because I don't know if you paid attention too much to it.
It was lighthearted.
I think it was really well. Yeah, I think it was really interesting because, like, a lot of Hans Zimmer's soundtracks are really good, and I was really happy to see him come back to do a DC movie because the last time he did it was BVS. He didn't do Justice League.
That was
which
Junkie XL.
No, he didn't. He didn't do Justice League.
Then who did Justice League?
What's his face? Danny Elfman.
Oh, there's like 3 or 4 that I know, and those are the main 3.
Well, look, that soundtrack. If I ever talk about it, and I'll probably talk about it more in the Snyder Cut. But that version of the soundtrack by Danny Elfman is terrible. It's not great.
Well,
So
he
I'll,
didn't know where to place stuff.
yeah, but like it's just I don't like it. It is weird. But like this one I feel like was, it had a unique flavor to it. It was kind of 80s but also kind of like still holding to the Wonder Woman character.
Yeah.
Like I said, my favorite track was this rendition of Beautiful Lie. I think it was overall really good. I think somewhat more memorable than the Suicide Squad. That composition, and definitely better than Justice League. I don't know if it holds up to like a Man of Steel soundtrack because that one's really good.
I love the Man of Steel. We gotta have like our favorite scores or something.
We have.
Oh, okay, that one and like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 soundtrack is great.
All right, let's check off that off the box. All right, so it's time to do our review, or like our final verdict.
Out of 10?
Out of 10, what do you give it?
Jeez. I don't want to like say it's bad, but like I don't want to say it's really like good.
I think we can both agree there are some moments and some sequences that are interesting. It's not a complete mess, but the story doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like she did her thing. It was cool. Patty Jenkins did her thing. Gal Gadot literally acted way better in this one than she did in any other one. Like she was emotional.
They're giving this to in consideration for the Oscars. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, I did not. But
yeah.
What was it when she was fighting Barbara in the White House? Yeah,
that
she
one
was like real emotional, and I was like,
she was kicked down to the floor, and she was just a mess.
So I'm gonna give
like
it
that's interesting. Go ahead.
Maybe a 6.7.
Yeah, I was aiming at a 6 too. Like not 6.2. I'm just saying 6.
Like a flat 6.
Maybe a flat. It could be a flat 6 or a 6.5.
You gotta pick one, Dan.
Fuck. This is weird. I don't want this to be my lowest rated.
You gotta pick it.
I think it's 6.5. It is not the worst, like we just said. I think some people will enjoy this.
Yeah, that's a total of 6.6 for your thumbnail.
Okay.
So
I can't put in the thumbnail. That's revealing too much.
I mean,
I'll put it in the video.
Or you can put 1 through 10. That's fine.
Yeah. So I guess let us know what you think of the movie, and did you see it in theaters? Did you see it on HBO Max?
Let us know if you think that drunk dude's Joss Whedon or not.
It's not just okay.
I think it is.
I want to put this out there: the drunk dude that in the movie harassed Cheetah one time in the park and the other time like near her job. Eric says that it's Joss Whedon. It is. I say it's not Joss Whedon. He doesn't have hair. The dude does. I know you can put wigs on everything, but it doesn't line up. It doesn't line up because I told Eric this, but like Joss Whedon has a specific like voice, and it's not it's more like what did I say, like a lisp, kind of like something like that. But it's not that guy. I don't think it's the guy.
I'm just saying they got the same head.
All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing Soul next up, but that'll be a full on episode because everyone watched Soul.
Yeah, we all watched it together the day it came out, but we just wanted to give some time in between stuff. Well, we had other episode ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah. So this was a very small episode, very like mini review, the first one of its kind. We're probably going to be doing some more of these in the future, depending on who watches what and everything. But yeah, next episode, kind of, I guess, depending on when I release this, is going to be Soul. So if you want to check that out, I guess stay tuned for that. We're going to be recording that in 2 days because today's a Monday. We're gonna record that on Wednesday. Yeah. So thank you everyone for listening. We're available on the iTunes app. iTunes podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcast, and YouTube. Let's see. You can follow us on our social media at nerdsbellikepod on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can also email us at nerdsbellikepod@gmail.com. Either on the social media or on the email, you can let us know future topics you want us to cover. Kind of like any criticisms or any like suggestions you want us to do for the podcast, let us know there. You can also review the podcast on the iTunes app. Any star rating would be fine. Like let us know in let us know in the description area wherever you would write the review. Maybe what specifically we can improve on, something like that, or what you really like. Briefly, we do have merch. We have a Mandalorian thing up. And I think I showed it to everyone else, but it's like a Mandalorian, Baby Yoda, or the child Grogu, whatever you want to call him, behind or in front of a sun silhouette kind of thing. We'll be back for Soul next up, and stay tuned for that. Thank you everyone for listening, and bye.
Bye.